In this lecture, we're going to look at ZBrush navigation and selection tools. Now, these are things that we've already talked about in the initial Quick Start lecture, but I'm putting it into its own chapter just so you can open this file and view it if it's specifically what you need to review. To begin, we're going to draw a tool on the canvas. I'm going to start with this head that's selected right now. It's the Active Z tool. This is the same head that we sculpted in the Quick Start session. I'm going to click and drag, and then immediately go into edit mode. Now, if I want to center my object on screen, I'm going to press F as in frame. That's the same as the frame button down here. So if I'm zoomed out and my model is way off over here on the screen, I can click frame or press the F key, and that will center my model. Now, if I want to rotate around the model, I just click off the model and drag, and that will rotate. If I need to zoom, I'm going to hold down the Alt key, touch down with my tablet pen, then let go of Alt, and I can zoom in and out. Now that one's a little bit tricky. It might take a couple tries to get it. It's all in the timing, but you will get it. It only takes a little bit of time, and you'll get the hang of it. It's hold down the Alt key, touch down with your tablet pen, let go of Alt, and then just move your pen up and down, and you'll zoom in and out. Now alternately, you could use the Control key and then left click and drag, or excuse me, right click and drag. Personally, I prefer using the Alt method because your thumb is always there on the Alt key when you're using ZBrush, so it's best just to use the navigation that's built around it. Now if you want to tumble or dolly the model around the screen, hold down the Alt key and then just click and drag, and then you can move the model around in the viewing plane. Remember, if you want to zoom, Alt, click, let go of Alt, and drag. Now, you might find that you want to mask your model. When you need to mask, hold down the Control key, and then your cursor turns yellow, and anything that you paint will be masked out. You'll notice that right now I have X symmetry turned on. If I want to turn off my symmetry, press the X key, and symmetry turns off. If I press X again, symmetry now turns back on. If I want to clear a mask, hold down Control and Alt at the same time, and you can paint the mask away. If I just want to completely remove a mask, Control, click and drag off the model. Now, if I have an area that's masked and I want to soften the edge of that mask, Control click on the masked area and it'll start to feather the edge. If I want to sharpen the edge of a mask, Control Alt click on the masked area and it will sharpen it. Now, as you're working, you might find that you want to hide visibility on some parts of your model. To do that, we're going to use a specific brush called the Selection brush. There's two. There's Selection Rectangle and Selection Lasso. I'll start with Selection Rectangle, which is the default one. You use this brush by pressing Control and Shift. And then you'll notice when I click and drag, I get this green marquee. I can now let go of Control Shift and press the space bar to move this marquee around. Everything inside this marquee will be shown. Everything outside will be hidden. So when I let go, the lower face is hidden. If I need to invert visibility, I just Control Shift, click and drag, and that will invert the visibility. If I want to continue to change visibility, I can continue to make things either visible using the green marquee, or if I want to hide, I can hold down Control Shift, click and drag. Now press the Alt key and my marquee becomes red. Everything inside of the red marquee will be hidden. As I'm working, you might notice that I can see through the back faces. To correct that, come to the Tool menu here, or at the top of your screen, scroll down to the bottom, and under Display Properties, turn on Double-Sided, and that'll make it a lot easier as you're working to see the back faces. If I want to bring everything back to visibility, Control, Shift, click on the background. So to recap, to create a visibility marquee, Control, Shift, click and drag. Control, Shift, click and drag, and then press Alt to make it a hide marquee. To invert, Control, Shift, click and drag on the background. To show all, Control, Shift, click on the background. So Control-Shift-Click and Drag inverts. Control-Shift-Click shows all. Again, these hotkeys are in a file for you to reference that's available along with the lectures. It's just a text document that shows all these different hotkeys that we're talking about that you can have handy as a reference guide. So we've looked at navigation, we've looked at masking, and we've looked at visibility. So now we're ready to go ahead and take an in-depth look at the entire ZBrush interface.